guys. My name is Diego Gravisac, and I have been working as a global solution architect for about 14 years now for TCS. Now, throughout that time frame, I have been working on the digital transformation of the different customers, and going through that digital transformation, we've seen a lot of things, a lot of changing things. Now, we all know that 2019, we were hit with a pandemic, this coronavirus that was detected in Wuhan, China. Now, on the 11th of March of 2020, it was declared as a global pandemic. It actually spread quickly across the globe. And that forced a lot of things on the war itself. I mean, in the different customer, on the digital landscape, and we've seen that there has been more than 700 million confirmed cases, more than 6 million deaths, and 13 million vaccine doses, administered vaccine doses. Now, the business had to survive. They have to evolve. They have to change what they were doing. Now, they have to adapt to a new framework, to adapt quickly to this remote work, to embrace the digital technologies, and they have to pivot all their strategies so that they have to focus, make a focus on the customer, because things were changing. I mean, everyone was working from home, nobody was going to offices anymore, and also they were consuming new products, and products that were sold through an experience. Now, there's an omni-channel kind of experience, type of experience where if you want to achieve a goal, you have to go through a website, the mobile app. I mean, it's not just one channel. It has to be different channels for which you can reach your customers. Now, when we are talking about digital, we need to understand that all the data has to be at the core of the foundation of this digital transformation. I mean, we need to harmonize that data. We need to centralize the functions in order to harness that information and also to make it accessible through the common platform. There's a lot of confusion when we're talking about digital, and that's that digital are the capabilities that we build on top of all that data. We use the data analytics, we use the data science, everything that is within our reach, so that we can produce, we can improve the processes so that that data can be used in a safe way and also help achieve our goals. Now, when we're talking also about those processes, we have to talk about the decision makers. These processes will produce something that the decision makers will get all that information at their fingertips, all the data, because the data is the fuel for this digital transformation. Now, when we say about improving the processes and taking them one step forward, it's just to make sure that all those processes will make us reach that goal, but at the same time, we know that we have, there's 5th-generation workforces right now. We have the millennials and the Gen Z that they are basically digitally native, and we need to understand that they are different in a sense of that we need to create an experience for them and to them so that they can also consume the products or maybe access the information, these channels that I was referring to. And right now, the digital it's no longer a kind of an add-on. You have to get it from the get-go. You have to get it from the moment you start. And we're not going to see that anymore. Like probably back in the 80s or the 90s, we used to have, when we wanted to create a report, we will drop a pile of paper on top of someone's desk so we can produce a report, and probably after a week or maybe a month or whatever time frame that was, we were going to be getting that information, that process information that would enable the decision makers to take action. And that changed. Today, we can get all the information. Like I said, you can go into a dashboard, you can get the data, the harness data through the data analytics, and you can take decisions instantly. You don't need to wait for, I don't know, probably, like I said before, weeks or maybe months to get a report, to produce one. Now, when we're talking about this transformation, I mean, nothing has been more accelerating that COVID. And what happened with COVID? Basically, we need to go back home and start working from there. Everything was changing. And that focus was on the customer, right? We needed to understand that it was a new world. So for instance, Domino's, they don't just sell pizza, they sell you the service of information of where your pizza is at. Basically, if they are putting some tomato sauce, or maybe if your pizza is in the oven. I mean, that empowers the people, that empowers the customer. We create a tailored experience for them, that with that information, they know exactly what to do. Maybe in the past, you used to order something and then just wait. Right now, you can track everything. Now, there's also other examples like the Disney experience. You get to use a magic band when you go to the theme park. And at that time, we know exactly how many steps you have to go through to go to the next game or the next ride, whatever that is. And we can tailor, we can create the different products that we will sell you on the stores that are encompassed with that information that we got. Another example, of course, is on McDonald's. When the pandemic hit, there was a lot of demand for food as well. And they changed the way that they sell their products, creating an experience, like I was saying, through an omni-channel, because you can go and probably order something through their app, and you can go through the drive-through and pick it up, or you can still go to a restaurant. I mean, the experience is something that will make you achieve your goal, that is to get the food, but you can get it through different ways now. And they encourage the people to actually use their mobile app because you will be able to get rewards if you do not talk to somebody to get that order in place. Now, it's not that they will remove that old experience that probably other generations are accustomed to, that they are used to, but they will make it better and easier for the end user to actually, when you're getting there through geolocation, they'll know when they need to start to prep their food, or, you know, it's a whole experience. Another thing that happens is that on other companies, other organizations, you get to create community. For instance, Spotify is way ahead of their competitors because they keep on innovating. They keep on adding things that will make a customer experience and build community. Like if you get to create your own playlist and you enhance that playlist through AI, you can basically get similar songs to the ones you have. So that makes you happy. That's what it's all about. Even if you have, I don't know, a kid, probably they'll, instead of getting to ask for the parents for getting a new toy, they'll get probably to ask to buy like a new car at the Rocket League. I mean, these things create community and the experience itself. Now, throughout 2019 and 2020, we've seen that there have been many changes across the industry. We know that before 2018, 2019, we've been working a lot on Internet of Things. Now, Internet of Things, it's not that it went away. It actually shifted to accommodate all the needs that we had at that time. Now, for Internet of Things, it evolved into something that was basically aiming the healthcare or probably farming. At one point in time, we've seen that at grocery stores, there have been some machines that will scan the barcodes on their products, and that's something that changed, for instance, when we go to a mall. We didn't know if the shopping mall experience was ever going to be there again. And things evolved. Now, there has been a lot of opportunities. We've seen AI that has been on top since after, well, before the pandemic, but after it was a shift on what we needed to do. That's because we needed to fulfill the demands of the customers, of the workforce, and everyone involved. And there has been opportunities as well. Like I was saying, AI it's at the very top, but there's also emerging technologies like the one on Internet of Things, RPA, blockchain, and some others. Now, we have essentials that are still there, like the mobile. We still need it, or differentiators like cloud and advanced analytics, again, together with data science. Now, there has been one example from my personal experience that I've been working for one of the Big Four companies in which everything started as a group of people that was working on the 10th floor that they were spending a long time, a lot of time, actually, whenever they go to meetings. When they were going to conference rooms, this group of lawyers will start to waste a lot of time trying to hook up things, HDMI, or put, I don't know, just dialing in. And that time, probably in a 45-minute meeting, they spend like 10 or 15 minutes trying to hook up things. So we thought of a way of making it better for them, trying to do a workspace evolution system. So on that system, whenever you went inside the conference room, we will detect your presence, and we will be able to know that first that you were there, that you could start your meeting right away. We could start to dial in, or we could even start sharing your screen. I mean, everything for them without having them to go and personally go and connect things or do other stuff that will make them waste time. Now, this software that we created was a single service layer software that basically replaced different devices and all the underpinning systems that were in between, the hardware. And we created a connected experience, again, through the omni-channel, through a mobile app, a kiosk, so if they didn't want to go into their app or download it, they will go right in and they will check in. And that saved a lot of time and a lot of money, a lot of time to this group of people. I mean, we target the lawyers and the people that were not that computer savvy, but in the end, we save everyone's time by implementing this software. And we implemented also this software with different technologies, trying to make them get into the conference room and start their meeting just by one touch, or probably by voice activated. One of the things that we also did was, as it's kind of hard on these conference rooms to control the shades and the windows and the light, so we created a piece of software that will basically you can create instances in which you have, for example, presentation screens, and it will put the entry system to a 30% of the light and probably lower the shades to a 75%. So all of that with a tap on your mobile device, on your computer, whatever that was. Now, at the same time, with this software, we were able to centralize, standardize, optimize, so that we could later digitize and automate all this effort. We also, one of the good things that we did here on this architecture is that we had these floor plans, and they were really big buildings. So we implemented some BLEs, some beacons. So when you were walking around the room, where you were walking around the floor, it would tell you which direction you need to go. If you need to go right, you need to go left, so that you can find yourself within that new space, if it was a new one, or if it was an existing one where you already been there, so that you didn't have to waste time trying to go and find that place. Another cool thing about this is that we knew the occupancy on that building. We knew where you were. We knew how many places we got available for other people as well. And that was a feature that with the shared spaces and some other techniques that we use, we were able to provide maximum occupancy on this. And all of this was possible because people were still going to the office. This was great. It was awesome. But then the world changed, right? We got hit by the pandemic. Now, these lawyers that were the ones that we target, they were older than the general population. I mean, these pretty much on the lawyer side, they are older than 65 years old, and when the pandemic hit, probably 1/3 of them changed all their plans, their retirement plans. So they were no longer going to the office, and they were like scratching their heads trying to keep up with all the documents, all the contracts, everything that was breaching those documents. They were, I mean, it was daunting. It was really hard for them to keep up with a lot of burnout, a lot of stress. So we needed to alleviate that by creating a system that could basically understand the documents for them, extract clauses, try to make their lives easier. Just as we try to make their lives easier when we were creating this software to make them go through the different rooms or different conferences so they can save time. Now it was a time to provide something that will let us and will let them use their time in a better way, use it for something that really matters. So at the time, in 2020, we started with a research and development on how we could make the machines understand the documents, these clauses, and extract the different paragraphs, the different things that were important to them. And we created a software that will apply to the different lines of services. The question that we had to do at the time was if with machines we could actually read the contracts and understand, not just extract specific things or specific terms, but verify and validate all the limitation of liabilities, all the data use consents, all the clauses that we had at the time. Now, when we talk about the solution itself, we do the problem definition, we grab the data, like I was saying, the data is still at the core of this digital transformation. We did the exploratory data analysis, and we defined the feature engineering for it. We took some of the samples, we created a large test training set, and of course, we did some data cleanup of the contracts, right? We removed the stop words, we did lemmatization, we actually did a lot of things. With one of the approaches, TF-ID, in which we kind of counted the terms within the documents. All of this to make it easier for those lawyers so that they will just, with a glance, they can define and they can decide what to do with a given contract. If that contract was about to reach or not, or to breach or not, or whatever was going to happen with that. Now, with machine learning, when we started to implement it, we were no longer validating or relying on the people to read the documents to achieve that goal that was provide an answer, provide a response to whomever was on the other side. We created this binomial classifier for one of the scenarios. Of course, we did it for several others, and we implemented like 6 models on demand. I mean, we really expanded and worked on this software to, again, make their lives easier. And the limitation of liability was at the top of it, because at the time there were a lot of people suing, a lot of people doing a lot of things based on those documents, based on those contracts. And that's when we defined and we were able to see the fees and the multipliers and the standards of the clauses and everything that was surrounding that. Now, we all know that COVID-19 was one of the accelerators, was actually the biggest one we had in our short history in IT, but it was also a wake-up call, because for entrepreneurs and organizations alike, we need to understand that it's a customer experience. We need to use all that power, all that data that we have, all the processes, and we need to keep on getting better at it. Now, when we're talking also about digital transformation, we're not talking about an end state. It's not that probably like in the past we used to say, okay, we'll get here, we'll do this implementation, this software, and then we're done. No, it's constantly evolving, it's changing, and that's what we need to understand, that it's a change, a shift in the mindset of everyone, that it's about make a better customer experience, tailor all the products and everything that we have so that the user can be consuming those products, that these processes get reinvented, and also the people that we have at the workforce, that it's probably like, I don't know, 10 years working at the same position, that they know the flaws of the processes, that people, those are the tools that we will use in order to improve those processes, to make them better, to make them easier. And that's what digital is all about. That's the transformation that we need. Now, this customer experience can be done in several ways. Now, this omni-channel that I was referring to, it's not just one, it's many of those, and they help you achieve one goal, because that's the fuel to be able to serve them in a better way. Okay? All right, that's it. Thank you very much, guys.